This is Chun-Li, 3D resin printed. Chun-Li is the most iconic and powerful female fighter in the world of Street Fighter, a being whose lightning-fast kicks strike fear into every opponent. Today I'm putting my painting skills to the test to capture this character's true elegant, yet physically dominant essence. Chun-Li, the strongest woman in the world. But before we begin, let's unbox a powerful ally that will be joining me for this project, a professional gear set from Gallery. The set includes one Gallery Mobius 2.0 airbrush, one Kaleido primary set, one Kaleido metal set, and along with the essential quartet of thinner, cleaner, matte, and gloss for a flawless final finish. My first impression is the packaging. It's incredibly sturdy and eye-catching, making the unboxing experience truly satisfying. Even the small details like the foam inserts for the airbrush are exceptionally well made. As for the gear, the Mobius 2.0 features a sleek design with high-end build quality and a solid feel in the hand. The Kaleido paint sets have intuitive labeling, making it easy to distinguish between shades even when the tones are very close. With this powerful setup, let's see how I transform this dry resin piece into a masterpiece. To give Mold Mayhem more motivation, please support us by hitting like, subscribe, and that notification bell. All the products I regularly use in my videos, like paints, airbrushes, brushes, and especially the professional Gallery sets I'm using today, are linked in the description below. If you're interested, purchasing through those links helps fund the studio so we can keep creating more high-quality videos for you. Now let's get started. First, I begin by removing the build plate, snapping off the supports, and washing all the pieces in alcohol to remove any excess resin. Next is the sanding process using a power sander and manual sandpaper. I pay close attention to removing supports in hidden areas to ensure Chun-Li's form is as perfect as possible. Any minor printing errors on the base are also thoroughly fixed using AB putty. The cleanup phase is complete. Before I start painting, I'm going to spend a little time testing the Gallery kit we unboxed at the beginning of the video. I'll test the airbrush first. I start by spraying circles to check the atomization spread, followed by straight lines to see if the paint flow is consistent. Now I'm setting up the airbrush with the compressor and preparing the colors. With everything ready, I begin testing the spread with circular patterns. A quality airbrush needs to produce a fine, smooth, and even mist, which helps cover large surfaces quickly without leaving puddles or speckles. Next, I test the spray consistency through straight lines. This is a crucial factor in determining if an airbrush is truly capable of handling fine detailed work. After testing, my initial impression is that the paint flows incredibly smooth. The trigger is light and the design is comfortable to grip, making it very beginner-friendly. So far, it's performing quite well, but I'll share more thoughts after putting it through more use during this project. Now let's test the colors. I've selected 3 shades: silver metal, sky blue, and red copper metal. I'll also be using the matte and gloss top coats included in the set to apply them simultaneously to these 3 colors for comparison. I'll apply 3 coats for each of the primary colors. Now I'll mask off the areas and apply the gloss top coat to the top third of each color sample. Next, I'll mask again and apply the matte top coat to the middle section. And here are the results for the 3 colors after testing. From bottom to top, the bottom is the original color, the middle is the original with a matte finish, and the top is the original with a gloss finish. You can clearly see the difference in each surface effect. My overall impression is that Galeri's Kaleido paints offer exceptionally high coverage with an incredibly thin and smooth finish. But honestly, the real star that stole the spotlight today is the metal set. No matter how much masking tape I used or how I tested its durability, the paint remained stubbornly adhered without a single chip or peel. The sheer variety and the sharp, brilliant, metallic luster of this set have completely won over a perfectionist like me. To get a more detailed look, let's return to our main character. Chun-Li has been fully primed in gray, using a water-based primer to ensure compatibility with the Kaleido set we're using today. Let's start with the table. I use a pencil to draw the wood grain, use a power tool to engrave the grooves, and then apply another layer of gray primer into the newly created textures. Since this is a wooden table, I mix a light wood tone and spray it evenly over the surface. Then, I use a hand brush to go over the highlights and shadows for each grain to make the table look as realistic as possible. The table is nearly done, so let's move on to the blazer. I use shine red, russet, and orange in succession to create a gradient of shades, giving the jacket depth and avoiding a boring, flat red look. Next, I use a paint shaker to thoroughly mix the colors before hand painting the fine details. The inner shirt, the chest badge, and finally that dreamy purple bow on her neck. Another plus point is the Kaleido black. I found the coverage to be excellent, effortlessly flowing into fine details and small grooves, even when using a hand brush. The jacket is finished, and now it's time for Chun-Li's specialty, the skin tones. We use 4 primary colors, yellow, blue, russet, orange yellow, and a supporting white to mix the perfect skin shade. There it is, the exact skin tone we were looking for. Now I spray it evenly over all the characters' skin sections. Now for the graining technique to create skin texture, which helps the surface look more realistic and less artificially smooth. I add a bit of white to the remaining paint and spray highlights onto the muscle groups. To make the skin even more lifelike, I dilute 3 colors, yellow, blue, and red, and wash them over the skin, quickly wiping them away with a cloth to create a natural, mottled effect. Then I apply a super thin layer of the base skin tone over everything and add some makeup for contouring. This gives the skin incredible depth. Finally, I apply a matte top coat, and just like that, we have hyper-realistic skin. Next is Chun-Li's hair. I meticulously apply 2 shades, chestnut brown and black, to create a smooth transition under the light. Now for the most nerve-wracking part, painting the face. I have to hold my breath as I meticulously paint the eyes, eyebrows, and eyelashes. A single mistake here means paying the price of repainting the entire head from scratch. I drop a tiny bit of resin into the eyes and onto the lips to create a glossy, lively look, then cure it with a UV light. The head is officially complete. Next are Chun-Li's shoes and socks. My goal for this section is pure white socks, contrasted with white leather shoes that have turned slightly yellow over time. The shoes are looking great. Now back to the table to paint the legs entirely in black. While cleaning my airbrush to prepare for the skirt, I accidentally spilled some water on the model, and it gave me a bold idea. I'm going to paint the white skirt with a wet look effect. I apply a thin layer of skin tone to the skirt, then layer white over it, thicker at the top and thinner at the bottom, to illustrate the transparency of white fabric when soaked. I then carefully hand brush the wrinkles to make the effect look as authentic as possible. Once finished, I had to make a few adjustments because I initially went a bit too far with the wet effect, making it look a little physically impossible. Let's fix it to make it more believable. I brush a bit more resin onto the bottom hem and onto the table around that area to create a water puddle, the direct cause of the wet skirt. The final touch, our Mold Mayhem logo on the socks. And we are done. Time to admire the results. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you love this video, please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on future videos. Goodbye, and see you in the next one.